Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I present to you another LEGO creation. Today's creation is the Mauser C96. Now here we have another recreation of one of my past builds. So some of you who have watched my channel in the past might have already seen the older version that I have made. Now I wasn't really proud of the design, so of course I remade it. Now most of the Mauser C96 I have seen on YouTube and other social medias, most of them built the C96 entirely in 4 studs except the barrel. So this section here, this entire section here was built in 4 studs, and that was how my old version was built. But after looking at multiple pictures of the real thing, I felt 4 studs was way too wide for this bottom section here. So what I did was, well, you can basically see the entire bottom section is 3 studs wide, and the top is 4 studs. Now how it's connected is basically with jumper plates. So yeah, here we have a trigger. I used a similar mechanism to how the Makarov was done, because you can't really fit a rubber band inside a 3 wide build for the trigger, so I used a spring, just like how I did with the Makarov, but I used a different spring because of the space inside and the placement of the spring. Now this section here, some of you who have seen the real thing or pictures of it might know that this front section here is not entirely flat, it's actually a bit curved, so I did this with cheese slopes and plates and these pins. So yeah, that's how that was done. This grip isn't mine. This grip is a 3 stud wide version of my different username, because well, his grip was basically the best one you could find for a LEGO C96, because frankly that grip is kind of hard to make. But one thing about this design is you can't really hold it like how it's supposed to be. Well, you kinda can, I guess, but yeah, your fingers are touching the trigger guard sometimes, and if you flex your knuckles too much, you're going to break it off. So this section here is actually built upside down with the usual method I use, which is this, using the pins. So that's how that was done. It's basically the same thing on this side. So yeah, let's move on to the back of the gun. Now this is curved. I used those bricks with the studs on the side. Originally I wanted to use those inverted slopes like this part here, but I thought that was way too dramatic of a slope, so I did this instead. So yeah, moving on, we have the safety, which is next to the hammer. Safety basically works like how the AK-47 safety works, just by blocking the bolt from moving. Well, not entirely, of course there's something linking to the trigger, but that's how it looks on the outside. Now, next thing here is the hammer. So most of you might know that the C96 is actually not, well, I don't really remember correctly, but I think it was the first ever working semi-auto pistol. Of course, revolvers are different. That's a different story. It's the first ever magazine-fed semi-automatic pistol, and the C96 actually is chambered in multiple types of ammunition, but the main one that comes with the Mauser variant is the 763 by 25mm Mauser, and it looks similar to a 9mm, but I think it's shorter and thicker. Anyways, moving on, there of course there's more cartridges it was chambered in, which is one of them is 765 by 21 parabellum, which is very rare, and also it can be chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter parabellum. Now, fun fact about this gun here, there is a shit ton of them in China in one time period when technology was starting to advance. So it was in that one weird time period where people still lived in old-fashioned looking houses, but simple electronics were already becoming a thing, like simple cars and stuff. So in that time period, cars weren't really a common thing. It was something that rich people only owned, and in that time period, China had a shit ton of these. Some of them were real Mauser C96s, and some of them are off-brand. So the ones in China are actually chambered in 45 ACP, which I did not know. I just learned that today. And there's also a 9mm Mauser export, which is very rare as well. And there is a experimental round, which is the 815mm Mauser. Also, there's the last one is the 8mm Gasser, which I have no idea what the hell that is. I think it's a special round, according to the name Gasser. I guess it has something to do with gas, but no idea. So, anyways, the recoil system is basically what other pistols use, which is direct blowback, which they just use the energy of the cartridge going out of the barrel and pushing the bolt back. So this is the bolt going back, like so. The hammer is on the back position, and when you fire or pull the trigger, it pushes back up, hitting the firing pin, shooting the bullet, and the cycle continues, just like so. So, this thing here is quite old. So most of you might know it from, I don't know, World War I and II, but this thing actually has been used in wars way before World War I. It was already been used in 18 something, the 18,000s, the more late 18,000s. They were already using these in wars way before World War I. So yeah, that's pretty cool thing. Mauser is quite an old company, you might say. So yeah, next off is the iron sights. Nothing special, it's just your typical angled iron sight. Looks like this. Whoops. If the camera would focus. So yeah, this is basically how it looks through the iron sights. Now, might as well show you the front sight, which is basically just a 1x2 brick, a 1x2 plate, and a 1x2 tile connected by two 1x2 jumper plates. Now I have a Technic brick here resembling the hole of the barrel, but of course on the real gun the hole isn't that tiny, but I guess it's a cool thing to add. Now I actually have a clip for this thing. Now I actually intended on using the clip design from my Car 98K, but didn't really work with this one because it's wider than 2 studs, so I can't really put it in here and push the rounds inside correctly. So yeah, I had to settle with this. Of course, on the real gun it doesn't take this little amount of ammo. It actually takes more because it's double stacked. And also, some of you might not know that the Mauser C96 actually does not have a removable magazine. It actually only has a integrated magazine. So it basically works like the bolt action guns in the days of old. So yeah, but of course with some modification, definitely it can take magazines. But yeah, this is a shorter video because, well, it's a smaller gun. There's not much detail to it, so yeah, that's basically about it. Yeah, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.